Well, actually, a little more localized than we expected to be.
Okay.
We planned to be in India right now,
Ah,
so I'd be talking to you from Calcutta if I were on schedule. But just a few days before our departure, which was supposed to be on the 4th of October, uh, I actually had a bad sprain. I sprained my ankle badly, and I was hobbling around, and it was uh, also Kathy had a few weeks before that had broken a rib, so we were struggling a little bit with physical things, and we were forced to postpone our trip to India. So we're here now, and one of the good things that came from that is being in on this call this morning. And I don't know if it ever happens to the rest of you, but I sometimes respond and say I'm going to be on that, and then that day I remember too late in the morning that I missed it. But great to be with you all today. Our meeting, we were going to India to be meeting with about a dozen of our partners in Calcutta, in Eastern India. And we were going to have a 4-day time together. We were going to be just refreshing in the book of Ephesians and interactive Bible study together, and upholding each one of our Indian and Bhutanese and Nepali partners, praying for them, the highs and the lows of what they face and so forth. And for Kathy, it was her first opportunity in 7 years to be in India. Now we have to wait for that. We hope to be going early in 2024. But we had to send out a message and deconstruct all the the constructs for the meeting and the gathering and so forth, and reverse that out. I really thank the Lord. It's now 3 weeks on this ankle, and I have full mobility and can walk around and so forth. The reason I have to leave early is I've got my last PT appointment for that, and so that's going well. But exciting things are happening. Our major project in the past 3 years has been the Bhutan Training Center, the first Christian training center in the history of the nation of Bhutan. Very unique building that is coming up, and it's being built as a residence because you can't build a church building in Bhutan there's no provision for any Christian facilities in Bhutan. So it's being built as a big house of the founder of God's Vision Church, our partner in Bhutan. It's a fellowship of 14 house churches around the country, and the building now is totally, the outside is up. They're putting the roof on right now and working on the inside. And the last word we had was that they have a good shot at finishing by the end of the year. And the wonderful joy of all this, it's the biggest project, the most expensive one that we've ever been involved in. And we were down to the last $100,000 for this project. And just in August, I had a telephone call from someone I'd never met before. I knew of him and another ministry, and they ended up giving $60,000 to the project. Now, I was doing a lot of things to raise money, but I never, this was something God did. And that out of the blue, he sent me a message and said, I'd like to talk to you. And that resulted in $60,000 to the project. So the good news is that we are ready to send. We have in our hand the last $50,000 to build this building. And so we by the end of the year, this will be up and functioning early next year. And that's a great blessing. At the same time, right now, another partner from the state of West Bengal, north of Calcutta in eastern India, has hired a launch and is functioning on the Bay of Bengal, south of Calcutta. The Delta area is a network of about 90 different islands, and 54 of those islands are inhabited. This is the home of the Bengal tiger, and it's a lot of amazing wildlife in this area, but the Church of Jesus Christ is growing, and out of the efforts of our partner Santos Mako and his team, they've hired a launch, and 38 men are moving from island to island for now this is the 5th day of it, and it goes for 2 weeks. And they come into an island and they start going house to house, meeting the people, introducing themselves, inviting them to a meeting that night, which is in the open air after dark. And they, at that meeting, they share the gospel, they show films, they sing, they interact with the people that come. And 2 nights ago, the meeting was interrupted by some drunks that came in and started forcibly throwing their weight around and causing confusion, and they had to shut down that night. And the next morning, they were going to the next town. The boat is their dormitory where they sleep, where they prepare their food. It's a floating home away from home as they are in this outreach. And they got word after they left the next morning that a number of the people, the local people, were very upset that this meeting was stopped. These are not Christian people; these are Hindus and Muslims. And they went to the police and they pressed a case against the people that disrupted the meeting. And they sent a message: please come back and finish the meeting. We want to hear all that you have to say. I haven't received word whether they can fit that into their itinerary, but they'll certainly get back in some way in the near future for that. And one of the great things that happened just before they launched out, we had funding given for 500 Bengali Bibles to give to people who came to Christ last year when they did this for the first time. And it's in many cases, it's the only Bible they have ever had. They may have had a Bible portion, they may have had a New Testament, but these are full Bibles that are being given to people who have come to Christ in the past year. So a number of things are happening right now. We are planning, Kathy and I are planning to take a 4-month sabbatical at the beginning of 2024. Well, we plan to spend 2 months of that. The first month just on the beach in Goa in Western India, Leah knows the area well, and beautiful place just to rest and spend some time in regrouping in our lives, and the second month we plan to bring our partners, several of our partners, the leader and his wife, to come and be with us for a few days in that environment so they can rest a bit and we can have good fellowship with them. And then after the first 2 months, we plan to come back to the U.S. and do the last 2 months of the sabbatical here, based in Kentucky, where we live. So the other personal thing that's happening right now is that our granddaughter, Abby, who has been on a 2-year short-term mission with InterVarsity in Italy, has fallen in love, and there is a wedding coming up, but we don't know the dates yet. Probably in the spring or summer. So and that will take place in Italy. So that complicates and enhances the opportunity as well. So that's a little bit of what's going on in Hicks Stable right now.